Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Empire of Geek.
It's alive! Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown.
I'm Steve. Joining me is Raul. You may remember Raul from the last episode. And also Andy. Chaps, say hello.
Hello. Hello.
There we go. Okay, before we get started on this one, I just want to have some feedback from the previous episode. This is officially our first episode because the previous one is a pilot episode. Give us a chance to get all the bad stuff out of the way. The first thing that we're going to change this time is no rocking chairs. Rocking chairs and podcasts do not work. At the end of the last one, I don't know if you could hear it, but there was just a squeak, squeak, squeak constantly, which seemed to speed up towards the end. And I'm putting the blame mainly on you, Andy, for that one. There's going to be no censoring this time. So, Raul, you cannot tell us about being abused by family members or friends. Unless it helps you.
Or anyone.
What we will do is...
So it might not have been a family member or a friend.
Okay, then just random acquaintances who walk past and abuse you. What we will do is at the end of the show, I'm going to bring a doll out, and if you just want to gesture on it to where you were touched, if you'd like
to. Sorry.
Already, I can hear the censor beep going on this one.
I was thinking of the in-betweeners when they...
This podcast is all about geeky stuff. However, we're going to have a focus on UK geeky stuff. UK comic book artists, UK conventions, any film which has a connection with the UK also. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to touch on other things. So, how you been doing, chaps? Rob, last week, has it been a good... Oh, balls. I've already done it. Raul. Sorry. Raul. Last week, did you have a good week?
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah, it was fine. What I do? Works a lot.
I know from following your Twitter, which is blocked to anyone outside the close kind of inner circle, that you're on an exercise kick, or you're about to be on an exercise kick, aren't you? You've been hyping it up quite a lot on Twitter.
Well, I haven't tweeted about that at all. I told you, but I haven't mentioned it on Twitter.
I think...
No, I don't want anyone to know about that. That's why I'm keeping
I know, but you haven't got your tweets locked down, haven't you? But
I've seen your stuff.
You have tweeted. I think the quote was Iron Baby, Iron Baby.
Do you follow me on
no, but I screen grabbed it and sent it to him so he can have a look at it.
That's when I was looking at the screenshots. You get back into your Iron Man.
I've been tweeting mostly about JavaScript.
Yeah, but you are on an exercise kick. Tonight when you turned up with a pecan pie in hand and a Dr. Pepper in a little plastic bag.
My coach says I can eat whatever I want until midnight. Yeah, I can eat whatever I want until midnight from tomorrow.
That's how it works.
From tomorrow, it's just chicken and broccoli, and I'm going to eat 6 meals a day.
You've got to exercise as well, Rob.
Well, I have to exercise, but I've had 2 breakfasts.
I'm slow. It's baby steps, isn't it? Yeah. Up the eating and slowly bring in exercise.
I've had 2 breakfasts.
Surely that is counterproductive.
I've never heard of an exercise regime. Well, you know what you need, young man? More breakfast.
I'm going to be lifting weights again, aren't I? I'm going to be getting massively strong again, so I've got to eat
again.
I used to be massively strong.
Maybe the first part.
Oh, get me some burn cream.
So 2 breakfasts. And then another...
Are you having the same thing for both those breakfasts? And do you have them at the same time? Is it not just a big breakfast?
No, I have one breakfast.
Do you have a gap in between?
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
That is ridiculous. You made that up.
No!
No one, surely you can't do that.
Yeah, the thing is, right, the first breakfast...
The pre-breakfast, let's call it.
Well, it was actually called a breakfast and a post-breakfast. But
I've heard of spacing your meals across the day. But I've never heard of a 20-minute breakfast gap.
You're going to eat in 20-minute intervals throughout the day.
No. The 20-minute gap is enough time.
It's like a food relay.
The 20-minute gap is enough time to poach my eggs.
So is this what your coach has said?
Yeah.
Why don't you poach your eggs to begin with, and then eat it all in one go?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I could put it all into one go if I wanted to, but he said give it a gap between them
To poach your eggs.
Well,
What's
just
the
because.
benefit of that?
Well, I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm told.
That's what the Nazis were doing, weren't they?
Sounds like Nuremberg.
So, right, the first breakfast is oats and protein powder and piece of fruit. The second breakfast is like a poached egg and a bit of bread, a bit of brown bread, something like that. And then the other
Mars
meals...
bar?
No Mars bars, no.
Really?
And the other meals throughout the day are protein, a starchy carb, and a ton of veg. So, like maybe a bit of chicken, bit of fish, bit of rice, ton of broccoli.
Is your girlfriend down with this exercise routine?
Well, she keeps nagging me to lose weight and exercise, and then you get the impression that no, she's going to listen to this. I'll shut up. It'll get me in trouble.
The only reason I ask is not being funny, but just to let people in on this, I left my keys at my parents' house, and when I got home, I was waiting outside when Raul and Andy turned up. And I must say that, Rob, you are the gassiest man in the universe. Now, if you're going to mainly eat broccoli, you are likely going to kill your girlfriend. Have you thought about that? Unless you would have fit some kind of, I don't know, pilot light to your rectum, just to constantly burn off.
Methane catalytic converter.
I feel so sorry for Emma. Are we mentioning Emma? Should we give her own name? Consuela. I feel sorry for Consuela.
Consuela, yeah, thank you. Call it Consuela. Thing is, I'll be like 10 inches smaller by summer, round the waist.
Oh, by the way, so
5'2".
He shrunk. It's the vegetables.
But my arm should be back to 18 inches again.
Well, you know what? We'll keep track of that on the podcast.
Yeah.
What's Rob been doing?
Clap press-ups.
Yeah.
Well, I'm supposed to do one-handed clap press-ups.
How's that possible? You need two hands to clap.
Well, you push up with one hand, and then you clap, and then you land with one hand.
You wouldn't try that at the moment.
Well, not at the moment, no, because I'd break my wrists, wouldn't I?
Well,
but I could do them.
When did you do one-hand clap press-ups?
This was about...
You'd be a marvel on, like...
This was about 6 years ago.
Wait a minute. 6 years ago was when you'd first kind of moved down here?
No, I moved here in 2006. When I was in 2014.
So that was
15.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, 2015. So...
Yeah, so that would have been when we were all here to witness all that.
Yeah.
When?
You can't remember that?
No, you can't just... Andy, do you remember a time when Rob was doing one-hand clap press-ups?
No. I remember a time of you talking about doing one-handed clap press-ups.
I could do them. You're just trying to make me look bad on the podcast.
Well, sound bad. It would
sound bad, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Rob. We were just trying to find out what you've been up to. And now we know. He's been lying. I mean, exercising.
I haven't been exercising yet. I start tomorrow. I've got to go down to the gym, and that's when I...
Yeah.
You'll be doing exercise at the gym.
Well, yeah, I'll be doing my exercise. Thing is, until midnight tonight, I can eat what the hell I like. It's only after midnight that I've got to, because that's when it starts.
That's
so
how
at
11:59, you'll be cramming all sorts into it.
Yeah, but we better hurry up then so I can go and get a burger or something.
If you start eating a big sandwich, and you've started it, after midnight, can you not finish it?
No, it stops at midnight, so I can eat whatever crap I like up to midnight, but after midnight, that's it.
So it's not a question of I've started, so I'll finish.
No. This isn't like
the Magnus diet.
Yeah. That's it. It's like midnight, bang, clock strike, bang.
How long are you super strict? 2 breakfasts, 17 meals a day for?
For a month to start off with, and then.
You up it to 15 meals a day?
No. Depending on the outcome at the end of the month, then it gets adjusted accordingly. So I might need to eat more, I might need to eat less.
I would go with the latter.
Yeah, but if you thought about just So from what I've heard, that dieting, if you actually really want to seriously lose weight, dieting is the way. You can't exercise away a bad diet. That's what I've heard. This isn't very geeky at the moment. Anyway, just on that topic, I did notice you came in and you went straight over to, he helped himself, ladies and gents, to our celebrations, our tub of celebrations. You opened it and then you said out loud, "Oh, there's none of the good ones left."
Do I sound like that?
Yes. Do you know why there was none of the good ones left, Rob? Raul. It was because last week you came in and you just dominated, particularly the Maltesers ones. It was noted that you went for them with almost like a German when there's chocolate around. You hammered them completely.
Germans go for chocolate?
German fat kids love chocolate. They're well known.
Uda.
Yeah. I'll get off the chocolates, Otto. Yeah, that's why there's none left, because you did scoff them all last week. You greedy git.
Well,
I've never seen Rob lost for words.
You're
the
right.
thing is, you're right. You are right.
I know, because we all watched you
Case
eat them.
closed.
But have you like moved the furniture around your living room? It doesn't look the same as it did before.
We did it to hide the chocolates.
Confuse you.
Because we know that anything chocolatey before midnight's going to get vacuumed up.
It's all right. It's all right. I've got until midnight. After midnight, I'm straight edge.
You can straight edge. So they drinking, no smoking.
Yeah, can't drink, can't smoke. I don't like smoke anyway because only dickheads smoke. But
No drugs.
yeah, no.
That's
no,
all the smoking listeners just turned off from the podcast.
Well, they're idiots.
They've got a right to do it if they want to. Anyway, so Andy, your week, and if we could make it shorter than Rob's half-hour eating diary.
Was that half an hour?
No, it wasn't really. How have you been getting on? Nothing. I don't do anything all week.
Did you go see any films with the young lady?
Of course not. She's not been. Has she been around this week?
No, but I didn't see any films. I've just been working, doing my thing. Yeah, that's about it.
That's interesting. Thanks, Andy.
Well, I don't have any big revelations like Rob. I get to the gym and stuff like that, but I don't want to brag about it. But it's part of my life.
You wait. From tomorrow, Rob will be down there working his ass off. Right, let's get on with actually some proper geeky stuff. I want to speak first of all about Assassin's Creed. This is film news. I don't know if you realise that they're going to make a film based on the successful Assassin's Creed franchise by Ubisoft. The film version... Do you all know the backstory to Assassin's Creed? I know you do, Andy, because you come round and I've ignored you every Christmas. You come round and I play on Assassin's Creed and then kind of half talk to you.
Yeah.
Rob, are you familiar with the Assassin's Creed storyline?
There's something to do with DNA, memory, bollocks.
Memory bollocks, yes, that's what it was. This is amazing time
The
testicles.
idea that like your memories are stored in your DNA, which is a load of tosh.
But then that writes off almost every fantasy concept ever. No, they're not arguing that it's true. It's a game and a story, but it's really good. They're basically what it is. It's this idea that there's a device called an animus, and the animus allows you to inhabit the life of your ancestors. Basically, you can see their memories, which is stored in your DNA, and through these you can relive memories. Added to that is this backstory that there is two different groups who are fighting with each other. The assassins, who are essentially the good guys, who believe that we should be free, and the Templars, who want to control everything. Most of the storylines are focused on the two sides attempting, through the memories of people's ancestors, to find these powerful objects called Pieces of Eden. And so this is what the film's going to be about. I really love the games. I even like Unity, which was the recent game they brought out. Loads of people have been bitching about it. I loved it. Set during the Revolution. I love the history aspect to it. It's just a kick-ass game. So the film news from that is that there's going to be a film coming out. It's been known for quite a while. It was initially going to be released this year. However, it's now been pushed back to December the 21st next year because of some different production issues. Michael Fassbender, you're aware of Michael Fassbender?
Mm-hmm.
He has got a huge schlong, apparently.
Yeah, you've said that before.
Yeah, I'm always talking about his massive knob. He's well known. There's a film he's in, which I'm sure you look this up, Rob. Look in your previous history of celebrity male penises, and you'll see it there.
Okay, Google.
You
Okay, Google.
can't
Does
voice
Michael
search.
Fassbender have a huge schlong?
You can't voice do stuff on a vocal podcast. Yes, he does.
Oh yeah, bloody hell. Ugh.
Is there a picture as well?
Well,
Has Google just answered that
Really?
with yes?
in the image search, yeah.
Could you find? I actually wanted you to find the film where there's a famous scene in a film where I think he's in an asylum or some kind of hospital, and he's been grabbed by these
It's
people.
like Mark Wahlberg in Boogie Nights. Although that was like a double, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There's actually a Tumblr called Fassbender's Penis Appeared. Blah 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 blah. That's
He does have a massive slung. It's like a rolled up satchel. That's what I've heard. It's huge, but that doesn't play any part in this film. I don't think.
oh,
Anyway.
there it is.
I don't want to see, Rob. Let's just take it for granted.
Well, there's the proof.
Can't see it from over there, but
Don't
Yeah.
really want to see it. That's why I'm pointing the phone at you and not looking at it myself.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Rob, for that. Again, this doesn't really play out all that well on a podcast. Trust me, ladies and gents, Michael Fassbender is hung like a mule. So he's going to be... I'm hearing some different information, or I'm seeing some different information about this. It's been said that he's going to play the character Desmond Miles, who features in the games. However, in the games he died at the end of Assassin's Creed 3. So, if he is in it, they might be messing around with the storyline from the games. Another version, this is from an earlier source, says he's going to play an original character called Michael Lynch, who is a death row inmate in the present day. Fassbender will also play an assassin in the past during the Spanish Inquisition called Aguila de Agrobo. He's going to be assisted by a female assassin called Lara, who may well feature in the past and present as two different characters as their own ancestor. And there's going to be... The main villain in the film will be Thomas de Torquemada from the Spanish Inquisition. And in modern day, it'll be Alan Rickon, who's the CEO of Abstergo, which is the big company, which is the front for the Templars. They keep saying it's going to be very similar to the original game's plot line. So it should be interesting. I'm really looking forward to that. There is some talk, though, that Ubisoft are going to release some other films based on their game products. Things like Far Cry, Watch Dogs, Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon and Rabbids. There's going to be a new Assassin's Creed game as well, supposedly launched next year.
oh, something for you to look forward to.
Something to look forward to. Which will be set in Victorian London. It'll be called Assassin's Creed Victory. However, lots of fans have been bitching about it, saying that the Unity was so buggy that for them to bring out another game within a year is a bit foolish. So they reckon that they should wait.
Fix their game engine and then re-release it.
Yeah, well, get yourself sorted out. Don't release games where, for example, when I was playing it, I just fell through the floor and got stuck underneath the floor in one bit and get out. So there's a lot of buggy bits, and there's famously the faces of everyone looks like weird zombies. Bits of the faces go missing, so they look quite scary. See how people do like teeth and no lips and things like that.
That'd be weird.
It would. It certainly would. So people have said that it's too soon for them to release a new game, that they just need to work on it. But I love Assassin's Creed.
The thing is, those kind of bugs I don't understand, because sure their engine would have been in development for quite a long time. So little things like lips and cheeks and teeth and stuff should be pretty solid by now.
This was all for PlayStation 4, which is...
Right.
You never had any of these problems on PlayStation 3. Maybe it's difficult. Maybe they rushed the game to get it out. That's what they could be doing.
Is Dash fallen asleep?
Yes. He has.
Snoring away there.
Dogs do snore. Is that a revelation to you?
I don't have a dog, do I?
No, because you're petrified of them.
Yeah.
I'm not petrified of them, I just don't like them.
You are scared of them, you big wimp.
They're unpredictable.
So are people.
But I can fight most people. Can't fight a dog.
Yes, you can.
How do you fight a dog that's got teeth and stuff?
So do people.
Yeah, but a dog could tear my arm off, whereas a person isn't likely to tear my arm off with their jaw, are they?
No, but they might have a weapon or something like that to bash your head. That's even worse.
Didn't really think of that.
I'd rather fight a small Labrador than a full-grown man.
At least the Labrador's not going to come tooled up.
Yeah.
But you can get like rabies off off a Labrador.
Or in the UK where there's no rabies.
Yeah.
I thought the EU had stopped us from impounding animals.
The EU have said, look,
Free range rabies.
you've got to have rabies.
Or was that just some bollocks that UKIP put out?
Is this to do with the pet passport? We still have quarantine and things like that. You know?
Good.
And I think for a pet, I don't know this one, so people can search it. I'm sure Rob will on his phone as soon as I finish talking. Surely with this is nothing
Raul.
to do with geeky stuff. Shit, yes, Raul. I'm pretty sure that if you're going to have a pet passport, surely the dog has got to be checked before it travels. If not, why
How
are
would
they
you
not
know
doing
it's
that?
that dog? You know, it could be different to its photo.
Have you ever, I know for Dash's pet passport, getting him to sit in that photo booth is a nightmare. And make sure he doesn't smile, because they don't want smiling, do they, on those?
Right, so it's got to be microchipped, have a rabies vaccination, a pet passport, and a tapeworm
Rob just
treatment.
knows all this
Dogs
stuff off
only.
the top of his head, didn't
Well, I
he?
just googled it.
We know.
Like everything in life.
Pet
you
travel
Google it.
expert.
So there you go. So
What does Google say about 2 breakfasts? Is it for it or against it?
okay, Google.
You don't have to really search.
But you're gonna.
Yeah. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about is some other films that are coming out. One of them is called King's Man. It's going to be released on the 29th of January in the UK. It's based on The Secret Service, which is a comic strip from... I read it in Clint magazine. You ever seen Clint magazine?
No, I haven't.
People like Frankie Boyle wrote for it, and who's the guy? Jimmy Carr used to write for it as well as big name kind of comic book writers as well. This is by Mark Millar. Are you familiar with Mark Millar's work?
No.
He did Kick-Ass, but you know what he's most famous for?
What?
Getting as much rape as possible in his comic book stories. It's very rare that Mark Millar seems to do it. He's very, very good.
Raid.
Rape, not
Alright.
rape. This is like the alternate joke to last week's one. He always has ants being killed.
Oh, did
No-
we have that? Yeah, we did. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, they just sound alike.
Yeah, raid and rape.
Really?
So
What's
when you had
is-
that, when you had that problem with ants inside your house, and you went to the supermarket, is that why that man sexually assaulted you? Because you got confused.
Yeah, it's again with the doll. I had to explain.
Mark Millar
But he puts a
famously,
lot of stuff like that in it.
he always has a little bit of rape in his stories.
It's a bit.
A lot of people it's been quite controversial. I don't know if there's any rape in the Secret Service or in Kingsman. I've only read the first few episodes, but it looks quite cool. The thing about I think this film's going to be really good is you can see the trailer now if you go onto Google, and it's called Kingsman, sorry, is that actually in the film they have Mark Hamill, you know, who played Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, of course.
Because Mark Hamill's in the comic book as well.
Wasn't he like...
Oh, right.
Did he die or something in a parachute accident in the comic book though?
Not so. It's a jet ski accident. I wasn't actually going to say because if any of we've just ruined the start of the film basically. If they copy what happens in the comic book. So it's to do with you've read that off the friggin' internet, haven't you, Rob?
Of course he's Googled everything.
Haven't.
Rob's opinions are all stuff like
Raul's?
Raul's opinions. At the beginning of it, it's a little snow buggy thing. It's in homage, the comic book. This bit of the comic book is to The Spy Who Loved Me. You know, at the beginning, where James Bond is there and he goes... The woman is leaving this lodge in the snowy kind of Alps or wherever, and the woman says to him, "I need you, James." And he says, "So does England." And then he skis off, jumps off the cliff, Union Jack,
Flag,
parachute. And then he starts with that, "Nobody does it better."
Yeah.
This is a spoiler, incidentally, for the film. Thanks, Raul. At the start of the thing, he saves Mark Hamill, jumps off this cliff, and he's got the weight wrong, so they smash to the death on these rocks at the bottom of the cliff. So it's like a kind of parody of the Spy Who Loved Me, that bit is. But the film looks really cool, doesn't it?
Very, very cool.
Yeah. I like the look of it. You like the look of it as well, don't you, Rob? You were saying.
Yeah.
So who are some of the people in it, Rob? You no doubt have researched them. So tell us what you know about it. Oh, you're
You've
screwed
got Colin
now,
Firth
aren't you?
in it.
Yeah, Colin Firth.
He's...
What's the basic plot line to the film?
Well, it's if it's like the comic book, I don't know what the film is like. The comic book, there's going to be some uncle that takes his ragtag nephew under his wing and develops him into a super spy.
Yes, well done, Rob. But you used to read Clint magazine then?
No.
The main thing about Clint magazine was the way they spelt the title on it, which if you went into the newsagents, the L and the I were too close together. So when you're buying it, I remember buying it, and I was just thinking to myself, if this woman who's serving me looks at this, she's going to think I'm buying some kind of dirty Razmag. And not just a normal dirty Razmag, but one with all of the people drawn inside it, which would be even weirder, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, the other thing we're going to talk about is more film news, Dad's Army the movie. Rob, what's your thoughts about it?
What, Dad's Army the movie?
Dad's Army the movie.
It's got Bill Nye in it, hasn't it? As the Uncle Frank character.
Yeah, the character played by John LeMessurier.
That's right, yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be quite a good romp, I think.
Romp, I love the word romp. Have you seen any of the pictures of it?
Oh, I haven't seen any trailers, but I've seen a few like stills and stuff from it, and it looks authentic enough to the.
It looks like they're actually making the actors who are going to play the characters look like the ones from the famous TV show.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think they kind of have to keep that continuity, because if they made them look completely different, it would again lose its connection, its charm. It would just wouldn't work as well, I don't think.
I think that's true, yeah. It does look quite interesting, actually. You've got Toby Jones, who's playing the Captain Mannering character, made famous by Arthur Lowe. Do you know any of the other characters then? Will that put your phone down, Robert Willett? I mean, Raul Hernandez. What, Hernandez? That's a fake one.
Yeah.
I nearly said it, but I didn't. I didn't say it, just the beginning of it. I didn't say his surname. Okay. So, do you remember the characters or the actors from the original TV series? This is a spot test. So you've got Arthur Lowe, who played Captain Mannering. You've got John LeMessurier, who played Captain Wilson. Naming some of the others. And if you touch your phone, I swear to God, come on then.
Who else to say?
I want the character name and the actor name, putting you on the spot.
The character name and the actor name?
And the actor, yeah.
Well, there was Pike.
Pike. Played by...
Oh, I've forgotten his name.
Ian Lavender.
Ian Lavender.
Oh, one mark to you, Andy.
There was the warden. Oh, I've forgotten his name as well. He died about 2 years ago.
This is stuff I told you before we started recording.
No, you didn't tell me that he died 2 years ago. The warden. I always got the warden confused with Dave Allen. You know, comedian Dave Allen.
Yes. He used to sit on a chair and make fun of the Pope.
That's right. He used to sit on the chair and make fun of the Pope and Catholics. And he was the one that came up with the catchphrase, "You can kiss your ass goodbye." And I had this joke about, you'd stick, if you're on like a train, a plane, the reason why you would stick your head between your legs, you know how they get you in that brace position, is so you can kiss your ass goodbye.
Are you trying to dodge answering the questions?
A little bit, yeah.
I think that was Bill Pertwee, I'm going to guess.
Bill Pertwee. Wasn't he Wurzel Gummidge?
No, that was John Pertwee, who was famous. Also Doctor Who, played the third Doctor Who.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on then, so you've got, I think it was Hodges, his character's name was.
The Vicar.
You're choosing some of the least likely to get ones. What was the Vicar's name? I don't think you're going to get him. I'm going to guess now. I'm thinking it's something like Frank Williams, but not the Formula One Williams boss.
There was the
What you're missing? The most obvious one. Who's the most famous character from Dad's
Don't
Army?
tell him Pike.
No, that was Arthur Lowe who said that.
No, the other one. Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Yeah, he died again, didn't he? Like 2
Again?
years ago. Well,
And then he came back, didn't he?
He's just another one that died. Like he died. And he was quite young. He was in his 40s when he filmed it. And I've forgotten his name. He was in his 40s when he filmed it. But he always looked quite old. And
Do you know?
He died like last year.
Are you done yet?
I give up. Yeah.
Are you done yet?
Was it Clive?
Clive Dunn.
Clive Dunn. Yes.
Clive Dunn. I said it. I said it. I did. I said it just before.
Just as you were saying it, but a little bit louder,
Back off,
which
Rob.
means I got there
I
first.
said it a minute ago.
Raul. Thank you. I said it.
So
I've done.
it's 2-0. Put your phone down. Well, shall I name the
It's on
character?
it now.
I'm not cheating.
Oh, I'm just holding my
I've
phone
turned
in
Oh,
the
front of my
screen off.
face.
I'm having a domestic. I've got to sort it out.
What's
If I have to end up spending hours beeping out you telling me the ins and outs of your personal life, I will not be happy.
I'm not saying anything.
Why? What's happened?
Nothing. Shut up.
A domestic?
Domestic.
Well, it can't be the fact she knows that you turned up tonight eating a pecan pie and drinking Dr Pepper. That'll be a dead domestic for tomorrow when she hears this.
Is it your commitment issues?
Right, I'll tell you the actor's name. You've got to guess the character then. James Beck. He was only in the first few, well, in the first series or so. He died, but he played one of the slightly younger characters, a bit of a spiv.
Oh, yeah, the little moustache.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and the hat.
I hope you're not
Did he
cheating,
die?
Andrew.
Yeah, it died.
Quite
Yeah,
early.
he died. He died a lot earlier. That's
Yeah.
why he wasn't featured in some of the later ones.
All right.
Yeah,
What
is
would
it?
he die of?
I'm going to say cancer. I'm going to guess cancer.
That's
I
quite
don't know.
sad. I quite liked him.
He did, yeah. But do you know what his character's name was? James Beck.
Yeah.
It was Walker. Private
Walker.
Walker. Yeah, he was the spiv. He would sell the subs and the parachutes. Okay, then I'll give you another one. Arnold Ridley.
Was he the old?
The old one who was the
really
medical
old
one.
with the plus the medical box. He was the.
Yes.
He wouldn't. He refused to fight. He was a bit of a pacifist.
He was.
Oh, what's his name? Humphrey. No.
Bogart.
It's his second name. You just need to know him by his second name.
Is his first name Humphrey though?
No.
No, got that wrong then.
Oh, you're doing great.
Oh.
You're not going to get it, are you?
Godfrey. He
Godfrey,
played
that's right.
yeah.
Godfrey, yeah. I need to watch an episode. It'll all come back to me then. It'll flood. It'll.
Well, I suppose you'll look at the credits, won't you?
Well, no. I can look at an episode without looking at the credits. It'll jog my memory.
John Laurie.
Was he the old Scottish guy?
Yes, Fraser. Yes.
Fraser, that's right.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you know what? I've decided that in future episodes we're not going to have a Dad's Army or classic TV quiz anymore. So it goes down like a lead flipping balloon. Yeah, the new film's looking really good though.
Protracted, yeah.
Yeah, so we could probably shorten that down a bit.
Get your editing skills out.
Yeah, we'll cut that all out now. Other film information then, or film knowledge, is there's been a new trailer for Ant-Man. Have you seen it?
That's in the trailer now.
You've not watched anything, have you? Basically, it still sucks balls. Listen to last week's episode. I listened to it and I thought I sounded a bit negative talking about how I thought it was going to be crap. I actually want it to be good, but I've just got a feeling, and even this newer trailer, I was hoping, will please let there be something in it that makes me think it looks cool. Nothing about that film makes me want to see it. And the other film that's been in, which we mentioned last week, there's been a trailer for, is Chappie, which looks even better, and the trailer reveals a little bit more about it. The fact that Chappie is a police robot who gets injured or damaged somehow, and then he gets reprogrammed so he starts having feelings. It looks awesome. Hugh Jackman's in it, he's the bad guy, and there's this big kind of crazy Ed 209 from Robocop style robot that he's going to be using in it. Right, that is the end of film news. We're going to get on to TV news. Rob, what have you been watching this week, which you were raving about earlier on? You even texted me to tell me how good it was.
Agent Carter.
Right, tell us about Agent Carter then. What's your thoughts on it? What is Agent Carter? Explain it to the folks at home.
She is a British secret agent who... well, they're going to know anyway. They've watched all the Captain America films. Basically,
We don't know that.
well, she was Captain America's sort of
Squeeze.
bit of stuff on the side. And she was a very effective secret agent, and Agent Carter is set kind of after, post Captain America crash landing in a load of ice and whatever.
The end of the first Captain America film.
Yeah,
The first Avenger.
the first Avenger, yeah. And it kind of takes its lead. It's after the war, and she's gone to work for some American agency called the SSR, and
Which will eventually be become part of S.H.I.E.L.D., won't it?
Yeah, eventually. And yeah, the whole thing is basically she's this woman. They don't think that a woman. Well, no, I mean the premise is she's
Don't
kind of
start dicking all over his...
yeah.
Sorry, Rob.
She's basically battling all these misogynistic, sexist, numpties who think that she can't do the job, even though she's been doing the job for ages. She's been very effective at the job, and so far, I mean, I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to spoil things because I did basically reach a bit of a spoiler earlier. So, without giving away too much about what actually happens in the first
Shall we pretend that they have watched it then? Otherwise, I do dislike podcasts where you listen to it and they don't tell you fucking anything.
Well, Howard Stark, Tony Stark's dad, Iron Man's dad, is basically under the cosh because a load of his inventions have been stolen. Now he's been indicted, subpoenaed, or whatever it is. The US government are on his case. They want to bust his ass, and so nobody's willing to investigate what's actually happening. It's just easier just to scapegoat him. So he has hired, or not so much hired, but enlisted, I should say, Agent Carter.
Because he knows she's a good egg.
Yeah, because he knows she's a good egg. To go forth and find out who or what
has been pinching his stuff.
Has been nicking off with his stuff, yeah.
So he has a secret vault, doesn't he? That's what he mentions. He alludes to a secret vault of his, did he call it his bad children or something, or his bad babies? Which are these dangerous experiments that he's been doing. And that's the premise, I think. There's only going to be 8 episodes of it, but they've had the budget for a normal series, so I think they've probably got almost double the amount of money per episode.
I would say, just the production values, just the way it felt like it had a certain filmic quality to it. It felt like it was much more than just a TV series. I just loved it. I just thought it was brilliant. I thought Hayley Atwell is just perfect for the role.
Did you see the Marvel one shot with her in?
The Marvel one shot, when was that on?
It was. Have you seen any? I don't know if you've seen any of the one shots. These are these little shorts that they release, which feature a character like this. But there was a few with, and I've forgotten his flipping name, the agent who gets killed in the Avengers, who is now the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's took over from.
Coulson.
Coulson,
yeah.
There's one with Coulson in where he basically kicks the arse of these people who are robbing this store. And there is an Agent Carter one that was really good, which I think people responded really well to it, so they decided to do the TV series.
I've not seen that one, but I think it's good in a way that this is being made because there are very few comic book adaptations in which you've got sassy, strong, confident, intelligent characters who happen to be women.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Marvel are doing a Captain Marvel, which is going to be a female superhero coming out. They've announced that. Should be in the next 5 or 6 years or so, which will be quite interesting.
They've recently given Thor a sex change, haven't they?
In the comics, yeah.
Yeah.
They did that.
Yeah.
Although Thor didn't have a sex change, it was a different... different person gets it. Thor clearly does something that makes him unworthy.
Yeah.
That's what goes on in it.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I thought that it was cracking. Agent Carter was. There was some nice little Easter eggs as well, which linked in with the rest of the Marvel films.
Mm.
There's a bit in it. There's this explosive they're after in the series, isn't there? In this first episode, sorry. And they go and speak to one of Stark's employees, who's called Anton Vanko, who explains to them how dangerous it is. He is the father of Ivan Vanko, who is Whiplash from Iron Man 2.
Right.
Because in Iron Man 2, you see Mickey Rourke talking about the fact that him and his dad and Howard Stark were mates, and they fell out. So you might actually see that in the series. Or if they do a second season, it might be featured in that.
I hope they do a second season, because I think it's got the makings of something really awesome.
Especially because the blokes in it are such dicks to her. And she's quite witty with her comebacks.
Well, yeah, she's like intelligent, witty. She's awesome. In fact, if she were a real woman, anyway,
your girlfriend might be listening to this. Your seedy face.
She's awesome. She is. She's awesome.
I liked it. I like it loads better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Have you watched any Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I've watched them all because what I tend to do is I tend to use a VPN, and there's this American like online channel thing called Hulu. You pay like five quid for, or five. It's something like $6 a month, but I buy the vouchers off this website called PC something Play or something. I don't know. So you can buy like gift cards for it, and I use a VPN so I can actually watch the stuff as more or less the day after it's been on air in the States.
Do you like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I stopped watching it quite soon after.
I do when I don't. It kind of...
Apparently it improved. That's what they said. The first season improved.
Yeah, it did improve, but it gets a bit...
So I'll tell you what my problem is, then you can tell me what your... Because you've watched it all, so you obviously have got more of an affinity to it than me. This is my problem with it. I was watching it, and I really wanted to like it, because Coulson's a cool character.
Yeah.
But the reason Coulson is a cool character in the Avengers is because everyone else is superpowered, and he isn't. He's a normal guy, so I can almost empathise with him. When I watch this film, when I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because he's just around other normal people, except now he's come back from the dead, which kind of takes away from the poignancy and the power of him giving his life up fighting Loki. It just feels to me like suddenly he's come back, which ruins the character when you bring him back from the dead. Their previous death has no meaning. And secondly, it just feels like that I'm watching a boring thing happening when all around me lots of exciting things are going on. The fact that we know the Avengers are in this world, I just feel like this is...
Yeah. So they can't... I mean, the whole like him coming back from the dead and all, that obviously is a bit of a torment, a bit of a battle for him. And there is a lot that goes on around that. However, I do feel in a way they've sort of copped out of it a little bit. You had Wade as like, arch villain effectively, but even he's just kind of like got off more or less scot-free. And you're right, it's a bit wishy-washy in that respect. And I kind of found it that way, but I stuck with it. And the end of season 2, again, I don't want to give too much away, but it looks like things are about to get a little bit interesting because...
Coulson's now head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He's now head of S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah, because Fury's just disappeared somewhere. And who knows?
At the end of the Winter Soldier, he goes deep underground.
That's right. So, without giving too much away, Skye seems to develop some kind of powers. So Skye is kind of like some kind of alien type.
Is she part Kree?
Sorry?
Is she part Kree?
Well, it hasn't been divulged yet what she's part of, but Andy's just nodding sweetly.
You have no idea what we're talking about, do you?
not remotely.
This isn't anything to do with lifting weights.
No, I'm not a one-dimensional character.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what... I think it's got better now, but there was a period where, it was hard going.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of it, but I did really like Agent Carter. You're right, it looked great. It did feel like it fitted in with the film really well.
I also like that it was set in the 40s as well, and so you had things were quite mechanical and quite industrial, and it was on it wasn't like we've got this box that is the size of a matchbox and it can do all sorts of stuff. There was a lot of cool gadgets and real thought that went into making those gadgets set in their time.
Yeah, it looks good. It just looked nice. It had a great feel to it. I liked it. I think it's better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I hope they make some more episodes.
I do too. In fact, they could scrap Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and just keep making Carter, and that'd be fine.
Yeah. That chap I was on about, that Anton Vanko, in the comic books, he becomes, and maybe you can fact check this for me, Rob, he becomes a villain in his own right, called something like the Crimson Dynamo, something like that. So, that would be quite interesting. Also, you've got James Darcy, who plays Edwin Jarvis, which is Howard Stark's butler, and as you know from the films, Iron Man has the AI butler Jarvis, so we kind of see the origins of that character. But yeah, it was kick-ass. Right, the last thing I want to talk about is Doctor Who. So we've not done anything. Again, I could just see Andy sitting there going, I can't make speak already. So Andy, what are your thoughts? You don't watch Doctor Who, do you?
Not recently, no.
Why is that? There's no girls in it. There are girls in it.
No, it's always on a Saturday night, isn't it?
And what are you doing on a Saturday night?
Well, just my social life, doesn't
It
give me a lot of
interferes
time
with
for
it,
the
doesn't
doctor, so well.
Are you a fan of Capaldi, Rob?
Surprisingly, I am. Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised. I wasn't quite sure to start off with, but when he was announced, I wasn't quite sure if he was the right kind of character person. I think in part because I've so used to see him as Malcolm Tucker in the thick of it that in my mind he was kind of typecasted as this shouty, sweary spin doctor. But actually, I mean, I would probably say of all the most recent doctors, the modern doctors, I'd say he's probably my favourite one so far.
I like him. I think he's very much in touch with the old style doctors.
Yeah, while still keeping a foot in the modern era, and also the continuity with the past doctors as well.
Yeah, there's too much of it feeling like it's a boyfriend with Matt Smith, I always felt.
Yeah.
And when I really like David Tennant, but when there's all that kissing Rose stuff, Doctor doesn't do that.
Well, I mean, it was what's his name, McGann, that started it, wasn't it? In the
yes, kissing Dr. Grace in the TV movie. Yeah. I like all Doctor Who stuff, to be honest. But yeah, I quite like him. And the thing is, the reason why I'm saying this is because there's been some figures released, and what they found is that his first episode had a lower viewer turnout than any of the other ones. But the fact is, since the first episode, when Christopher Eccleston came back, every new Doctor on their first episode has got slightly lower. So it follows a kind of trend of, over time, less people watching. But it's been said that his Doctor Who episodes have had less views. However, it seems more people are watching it on catch-up than actually. Inversely, though, it seems to be more popular than ever in America, and the Christmas episode has been the most watched one of the new episodes, so far.
Well, I tend to watch it most on catch-up when it's on because, it upsets the girlfriend.
Oh.
She wants to watch, some sing-along talent crap show.
Yeah.
I don't know, X Factor or whatever it's called.
No, but it just seems it's Downton Abbey. Now you can join in the conversation, Andy.
Hallelujah.
Its viewing figures have dropped in the UK, but gone up considerably in America. It seems to just be something about them where they are becoming less popular here, but more popular elsewhere. Some people say that they've given Doctor Who a later time slot, so it switches off a lot of kids. And people have complained that Moffat is appealing to more adults now and older people than the kids, because Doctor Who's a kids' show.
Well, I wouldn't say Doctor Who's ever been a kids' show. I'd say Doctor Who is a family show. I would say that
it was originally envisioned, to edit that out, as a educational show for kids.
Yeah, they were going to go around various ventures in space and time and teach children about all sorts of stuff. But no, I'd say that it's a family show, family viewing, definitely.
But here's a question for you: the very first ever episode of Doctor Who, it was re-showed the next day. Why?
Wasn't there a power cut or something?
Nope.
Or
something major. It was 1960s.
Oh, there was a telephone, the space landing thing.
Nope.
Moonland?
No.
Some sort of natural disaster.
No.
I know there was a telephone call or something. There was a telephone call. Was a telephone call? Something to do with the telephone call.
There was a telephone call at some point in that year.
Oh.
It had nothing to do with Doctor Who, though.
No, I remember reading somewhere that the.
I get a clue. This is my clue. And he's just coming into the.
A mass shooting?
Not a mass shooting, but there was some shooting involved.
Shooting.
A smaller shooting. Yeah. Imagine a motorcade.
JFK getting shot. That's right.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
JFK was shot.
JFK got shot. Yeah.
You remember it?
No. The
How old are you, Rob?
The phone call thing. The reason why is because, if I remember correctly, it was interrupted partway through because a Prime Minister had taken a phone call to be told that JFK had been shot, and he had to go on air to do a public announcement. That's where I got the phone call from.
I don't think they interrupted the show. I just think Well, I know for a fact that people weren't watching it, so they had to shut the next night. Its viewing figures were so low.
Such a big thing.
I imagine it was on the news sometime before that, and everyone was too busy watching that going on. But I'm pretty sure that someone rang someone around about the time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all of the TV news. Now we're moving on to comic book news, where I like to choose a British comic book of the week. Last episode, I mentioned Vanguard, and Dan Butcher. I've actually chatted a little bit to him on the Twitter. It's a really nice guy. You know, you asked me last week, again, I don't want to spoil it, I mentioned the fact that the Prime Minister in the comic bears a striking resemblance to David Cameron. And I think you asked me, Raul, if anyone has killed him. You may want to read the current episode or page of Vanguard, because you may be quite pleased if you enjoy seeing porcelain-faced Tories get bad things done to them.
Cool.
It looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'll tell anyone, go and check out Vanguard Comic. So it's vanguardcomic.com, and that's Dan Butcher who does that. It's brilliant, very dark, but the main comic I'm going to talk about this week is Hemlock, which is done by Josephine Fenton, and it's pretty cool. And I've actually got a copy with us at the moment.
Jocelyn Fenton.
Jocelyn, what did I say?
Josephine.
Sorry, Josephine. Yeah, it's my comic there. Look how smug you are about that. Jocelyn, sorry, I think my my iPad that I have on my notes on auto-corrected it. Yeah, I've met her. It's a really good book. It's based on fairy tales, Scandinavian fairy tales. It's black and white artwork. There's a certain manga feel to it, don't you think? But not enough to make it annoying.
Big eyes.
There's like a theme that we're just down on manga, aren't we?
Yes. No, I do like some manga stuff, but I just don't like crap manga. Do you not think that there's something about kids of a certain age where they love any manga and they don't care about quality? There is some very, very good manga and there's some very good anime, but they will just like anything without even looking at the quality of it.
Just because it is what it is.
They just want to feel, they want to be associated with it because they're annoying little gits. Anyway, Hemlock, you can view that at hemlock.smackjeeves.com. It looks beautiful. There's some crazy stuff in it. There's an evil witch who lives in a giant snail in it. But it really, really nice. Really nicely drawn.
It looks good.
Jocelyn, who does it at the moment, she still posts stuff on there, but there's been a bit of a delay just lately. She's currently doing a master's in character design, I think, from what I read on a website. But it's beautiful. Do you not think it's really well drawn?
Very well drawn. Yeah. And
it just draws you in. There's a kind of magical quality to it, I think. So yeah, get it now. There's something, she's brought out something like 4 or 5 collected copies of her webcomic. Yeah, it's really good. So that's my suggestion of comic book to read this week. So go and look at it. And in the front of my comic book, she does mention that I rock. So good on her. What are you grinning at, Rob?
That you rock.
I do rock, yes.
Steve, you rock. And there's a signature with a little heart next to it.
Is there a little heart next to it?
She's drawn a little heart. But that's probably just part of the signature. I don't think she's like drawing you a heart.
Well,
I just think
well,
heart is part of
I
the
think you'll
signature.
find that there clearly is a heart drawn there, and that was to me.
Well, there is, but the heart's probably part of a signature.
So, where did you purchase this from?
This was from her herself. It was at a convention.
Oh, at a convention, all right.
I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Birmingham maybe.
Yeah.
But it's good. Can you not twist the pages back, Rob, with your great big sausage hands?
Well, I haven't. The last book I had that the author signed, the author drew a big penis on the...
Was that instead of writing your name?
Well, no, it was my friend...
Did you talk to him, Rob? Was that it?
No, it was a mate of mine, and he had his book published. I asked him to sign it, so he drew...
Did you twist the front cover and back cover with your big sausage fingers?
No, I didn't. Look, it's fine.
That's why you're pressing it back down.
There's no damage to it, honestly. It's fine. I've been very gentle
There's
with
something about the way you hold that. It's like giving an orangutan a book.
Big claw, shovel hands.
I'll put it back.
You see, oh, look at it. It's twisted up now.
It's not twisted. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
And it's autographed.
Yeah, and it's autographed and you twisted it
I
round
haven't
now.
twisted it. It's fine.
I knew I shouldn't have let you have it.
It's all right. Look at it.
Has it cracked the spine? That's what you should be known at university.
Spine.
Rob Spine Cracker. For a whole different reason, though.
Raul.
Raul the Spine Cracker. Which leads me on to, since I think the story about you being allegedly abused we could do, if you want, a Rob story every week. Would you like me to do the story about you and Raul? Should we do the story about Raul and the Irish barmaid? Is that a yes?
No. No. Shut up. I just turn the podcast off.
No, don't worry. I won't keep any of the story in. Oh, it's a good story.
Is it?
It's not a good story. Shut up.
Anyway, back to the main point. Hemlock. It's a great looking comic. Go look at it. It looks brilliant. It's not been updated, the actual webcomic, but she's very busy at the moment. I think she'll get on to updating it when she gets the time to do it, but it looks brilliant. And also, yet again, I'll plug it, Dan Butcher's Vanguard comic. That's vanguardcomic.com. Our Butchers at that. Right, I'm going to talk about cons, because we all love cons, don't we?
Criminals?
The same joke you used last week.
I didn't use that one. Oh, did I?
You did. Oh, no, con men you said, but it's similar in it. You went, is it con men?
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't matter.
I'm so cliche.
It's just a viewer who goes, we've heard everything Andy has to say.
I know.
It's only the second episode.
I can't regenerate new material.
Right, I'll give you some of the cons then. So, I noticed that when I put the last episode up, one of the cons I spoke about was basically happening that day. So, unless you listen to it as I put it up, you couldn't have gone to it. So, sorry about that one. But the ones that come up, we mentioned last week the True Believers Comic Festival on the February the 7th, and we all loved the sound of that one, didn't we? It was all about the comics. Getting in there, getting your hands on those comics, Rob, twisting them around in your big banana fingers. It's all about
rampage.
Twisting the pages around on one hand, and then on the other hand a pecan pie.
Yeah, smeared across.
Got it, chocolates. Animanga Pop, which is at the Holiday Inn Plymouth, and that's February the 7th. Oh, I didn't say where that True Believers was. Listen to last episode, you lazy gits. So I'm going to mention two new ones. One of them is the MCM Midlands Comic Con. That's at the Telford International Centre on February the 14th. And let's see, they haven't actually announced who's going to be there, so I can't tell you much about that.
Sounds really good, that.
MCM stuff, I've been to the London one, is good. It's just big, and there's loads of stuff there, and it's cool.
Cool.
There's some of the bigger comic
Should we
cons.
go?
Well, I'd like to go to the True Believers one, actually, at Cheltenham, but I wouldn't mind going to the MCM Midlands one.
What day is it on again?
What, the Cheltenham, the True Believers or MCM?
MCN.
MCM is February the 14th.
Is that a Saturday?
Is February the 14th not Valentine's Day?
Oh, shit.
I actually don't want you to take me out on Valentine's Day. That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Well, there's no way I'm going to get to go to a comic convention on Valentine's Day.
Take Juanita with you. She'll go with you.
No, she won't.
But it's for you, Rob. Have you got any plans for Valentine's Day? Would you like to announce them on the... Or hint at them? Give her a taste. Just the tip of it.
Have you bought, thinking of doing some sort of big sort of move?
Yeah.
Something like that?
What
Well, it could be time, maybe. Did you not say that she...
Book a trip to Paris?
She messaged you earlier.
There's nothing about what's...
Didn't you mention that she messaged you just a minute ago?
Hang on a minute. Are you doing anything for your young lady on Valentine's Day?
It's early days though, isn't it?
It's early days.
And you are famously tight-fisted, aren't you, Andy?
Famously generous.
Famously tight-fisted.
Almost too generous.
The man who perfected the last-minute drop back as you're walking towards the bar trick.
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with spending money.
Well, yeah, there's nothing. It's true. A trip to the bar for you has nothing to do with spending money. I would not deny
You're always
that.
fucking twist stuff around. I'm always the first to get my wallet out. I mean, granted, there's no money in it. But
Just moths. Because Andy's taller than me, for the viewers listening, so he has a wider stride than me. So as we're walking towards the bar,
it's on the short.
on paper, Andy should reach the bar before me.
I've got a long
Has
body
he ever?
with short legs.
Has he bollocks? Now that could, see, Rob's also taller than me, but Rob's got the excuse, haven't you? You've got tiny. You're all body, aren't you?
I've got freakishly short legs.
Tiny. They are. How long are your legs? They must be about 40 centimetres, if that. He's got no knees.
Well, I'm 6'2", and I've got 30-inch legs.
30-inch legs. How long's that? That's a normal length, isn't it? I don't know.
Well, you're 6'2" and you've got...
I don't know how long my legs are.
Yeah, your legs are longer than mine.
Stand up next to each other and we'll see. Again, this doesn't play off too well on a podcast.
See?
Only a little
Oh,
bit,
that's
though.
like...
No, he's got about 2 inches more leg than me.
So you're saying that he's about 2 inches longer?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get a cheap knob joke in there.
But then you've got more body than me, so, you know, there's an advantage in that as well.
Surely not that abnormally.
I'm like a gorilla.
Put your arms down at your sides. Because they lay whereabouts they should be. Surely if you're raw body, your arms would be at your knees.
Well, not much above my knees.
Your knees are there. Where do you think your knees are? Your knees aren't in your pockets.
No, my phone's in my pocket.
I know. Where's your knees? They're
Well,
there, aren't
there.
they? That is not your face. We can see them bending,
see
you
them.
liar. You would have the world's biggest shins.
You're grabbing your thighs, so that's your knees.
Consuela and I have... She's 5'6",
Women have longer legs than men. That is
and we
a
have the
fact.
same length.
And
No.
that'll be about right, though. If you stand a man and a woman of the same height next to each other, she will have longer legs.
Really?
Yeah. Women will pretty much tend to have longer legs.
What, and the short bodies?
Yeah, if you look
Well,
at them, yeah.
And I'm slightly taller, fractionally, not a lot, slightly taller than Andy.
I know Andy looks bigger than you,
No,
I
you're
think.
not. I'm fractionally taller than you.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
You sort of.
No, you're not. I'm fractionally taller than you.
Back to back, let's
And
see.
your legs are longer. Yeah, back to back.
Well, again, this probably doesn't work too well on a podcast. Andy looks taller.
He's just thinner. He's not taller.
Why we're touching the mic?
Just for the viewers, they are basically chest to chest.
Go.
I think Andy looks a little bit... You need to stand back to back, I can't tell there. Well, Andy's closer. Oh, I don't know, actually, Rob might be a little bit. Is he... Oh, you cheating
I'm not
git.
cheating.
I
I'm
can
not
see you on tiptoes.
I'm not on tiptoes. He's pushing my head down.
You probably are. Actually.
Maybe a little bit, I
Might
can't
have
tell.
half an inch,
I can't
I'm
tell.
fractionally, like I say, it's not a lot, but I am honestly fractionally. So I told him, yeah, he's got longer legs.
I know from the front he looks taller.
Yeah, but from the front you look different, don't you?
Are you all height at the back?
Yeah, because my head kind
your
of
head
goes
like
like
a
that
slope?
from what I all got hit by that thing, you know.
Oh my god.
You got hit by one.
Is this the same thing I had to censor in the last episode?
No, we're not talking about that. We can't.
Is that what made your head go like a triangle, basically?
Yes, it's kind of like
Your
also,
head does not slow it back to a point like
It
a cycle
helps the
helmet.
rain. It helps the rain.
It's a design
got
feature of your
natural
head,
train.
is
It
it?
is. Well, I remember when I cracked my head open, and my sister said I was a hypochondriac, and then all the blood. So I think I cracked my head open, and she said, "Don't be such
This is what makes the podcast great.
She said, "Don't be such a hypochondriac." And I'm like, "No, seriously, I think I cracked my head open." She's like, "You're such a pansy." And then all of a sudden, it was like a tap turning on. The blood just started to spurt everywhere.
How did you do this?
Well, I was running down the stairs, and you know those
In your
like
house,
in
yeah.
my house, yeah. You know those
Rob,
RCBs.
when
JCBs?
Raul, sorry, just before you came down the stairs, had a adventurer in a leather hat stolen a golden idol.
No.
Oh, carry on.
No, I think I was running down the stairs,
I love it.
and you
So
know,
I want to know what JCBs have got to
it's not a
do.
JCB, and I'll say, "Oh, those steel girder things they put in like."
RSJ,
yeah.
JCB?
Your house must look shit with JCBs
Props up
above each other.
ideas.
Well, basically, I headbutted an RSJ, and not intentionally. Like I didn't like go and like nut it like some kind of Glaswegian.
Where was it, this RSJ?
It was on the top of my stairwell, so it kind of like supports the top above the stairs to stop the ceiling from falling in. I don't know. I'm not a builder. Anyway, so I'm legging it down the stairs.
I wouldn't have known.
It's Raul's building tips. And you hit your head on it.
Hit my head on
How did
it.
you manage to hit your head on it?
So you hit
Did
your
you
head
jump?
on that and then went down the stairs in a heap?
Well, it wasn't quite a heap. It was kind of like I bashed it. I was a bit, oh, that hurt. put my hand on my head, sat on the stair thinking this doesn't feel right, and it all felt a little bit loose.
Oh my, were you not loose?
And a little bit wet, but a bit cold as well, a bit of a weird feeling. And my sister was there, and I said to her, I think I'm cracking. She said, don't be such a hypochondriac, blah, 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 blah. And then it started to bleed everywhere. And that's why, on like the ground floor by my front door, I don't have any carpet there anymore. It's just tiles. Because basically I bled all over the carpet and I couldn't get the blood out. So
At your house?
Yeah, at my house.
So you've got tiles
where you live now?
Yeah, so I had to put tiles in there.
Why didn't you just put...
Oh, so this was a recent thing?
Well, no, this happened this was a few years ago.
And it flattened you at the top of your head?
Obviously that didn't, no.
That stopped your triathlon, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that. This was actually... last time you were doing your training regime, which just a callback to the beginning of the episode, you were training for a triathlon then,
and that's right, I couldn't race because I cracked my head
because you
open.
threw yourself down the stairs rather than actually racing.
Oh well, there it goes.
Another injury. Next time I'm at your house, which we'll never be invited to now, I'm going to look and see where that thing is to bang your head on. Because I've been up and down those stairs.
How come you only did it that one time? Surely you would have...
Well,
Yeah.
you learn your lesson, don't you?
Your sister wasn't there when you took your head-first tumble down the stairs,
Yeah, she was.
just before you did your
It was
triathlon.
It was when my kid sister was at university, and because I'm within like half an hour of them, and of her, and my parents and all live like 5 hours away, they decided to stash all her crap in my house. It was easier to leave it with me than take it all back to wherever they live. I'm not going to say where they live. So.
Because people will track them down.
Well, they might do. Anyway, so...
Our viewership isn't that massive at the moment.
How many views have we got at the moment?
I don't know, not much, not many. I'll tell you one
3.
thing though, we've already beaten History Hotties. That's one of our main
I reckon
rivals.
this episode would tip us over.
What's History Hotties about?
It's about girls in history.
That have been hot.
That have been what? Done good things, great things.
Well, I think it's not about individuals so much as movements, and so it's all about the flappers and stuff like that.
Flappers?
That sounds quite interesting. I quite like a bit of history.
Don't start watching it because that one extra person may push them up past us. Yeah, I think it does sound. There's loads of other podcasts that I've looked at on Podomatic where I've got this at the moment, hopefully on iTunes soon. There's some other nice sounding ones. There's one of them where we were ahead of, which is some comedian in some American city. Sounds brilliant. He actually has guests on his show.
Well,
We're never
sounds
going to have
fun.
guests on this, are we? Wouldn't it be good to have a guest?
We'll get a guest.
Should we find a guest? I mean, not guests that aren't just like Raul or you or my girlfriend.
Oh, can't...
Hang on.
Yeah,
Are we
normal
guests or are we active participants? Active
Co-host.
Co-hosts.
And
Yeah.
as a co-host, you're
Junior co-host.
junior co-host.
Why
Yeah.
would you? He says less than me.
But what he says is powerful.
Yeah, you
But
know.
he doesn't watch
Quality,
anything or listen to
not
anything.
quantity.
Yeah.
So.
And he's going for the celebrations. And
Yeah,
I-
but
well,
he didn't-
pass me a-
He didn't
Yeah,
decimate them last week.
No, I'm sorry, mate. You're on a diet from now on.
From midnight. From midnight. I've got 3 hours to get a bit of chocolate in before.
A bit of chocolate. You went for a carvery before you came
It's
here.
like giving you a loaded gun, Rob.
It is. It's hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Did you eat all the Maltesers last time you were here?
Not all of them. Most of them.
Yeah, you cheeky git.
Oh, bounties. I like bounties.
You don't
Good.
like them?
Not really.
I like bounties.
I'll give Steve the bounty and you can give me a incoming bounty.
What do you want?
Oh, thank you very much.
A Twix or a Mars, please, mate.
So-
Or a Snickers, I don't mind. Thank you.
I did notice that, I don't want to name the brand particularly, although we're giving it away by naming the particular chockies in it, but all the Galaxy ones were gone as well. I'm pretty sure I know where they went.
The Galaxy in a type of celebrations as well.
Yeah, you get little... Is it Galaxy ones you get in there? Yeah, you get Galaxy ones in there.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
Yeah, so someone snaffled all them. And you get caramel ones as well.
I don't like Galaxy caramel, so it can't be me.
Case closed.
He's innocent. Let him out. Anyway, shall I finish off talking about these cons?
Sure.
We went a little bit off track then. Okay. I think it's been a much more serious episode today. Do you not agree? Apart from that last bit. So that's MCM Midlands Comic Con, Telford International Centre, February the 14th, Valentine's Day. take your girlfriends down there. Let's be honest though, there's not going to be many girlfriends there, is there?
You know that joke was coming.
And the other one is Demon Con 9, and that's the Royal Star Arcade, Maidstone, Kent. And that's February the 15th. Do you want to know what's there? And I know you're dying to know what's going to be there.
Go on, tell us.
Well, it bills itself as the family-friendly comic convention. I like the sound of it. There's going to be loads of artists and writers there, a number of big names, including the possibility of an international guest. They have mentioned who that international guest is, and it's going to be the artists, and I think probably the writer, of a comic called Rat Queens. Rat Queens is an Image comic, so it's a reasonably biggish.
Okay.
Obviously, Rat Queens isn't as big as was well known as some of the big Marvel and DC ones, but this is a comic that's been taken on by one of the big publishers. So they're going to be there, the creators of that, as Curtis Weeb and Rock Upchurch. So they'll all be there. Now, I was going to actually mention some other conventions that are coming up soon, but I don't want to because obviously we'll have nothing to talk about next week. But there's another one coming up later on in February where they've got some real, proper British comic book royalty going to be there. Brian Talbot. So I thought what I'll do is we'll talk about it probably next week, if you're all in for it, unless you pissed you off, slagging off your pecan pie eating ways.
It's all right, because next week I'm going to be here with my chicken and vegetables.
You will just turn up.
Or it could be mackerel. Mackerel's quite good. It's got omega-3s and 6...
It's just the fact that you eat as you're travelling to places as well. There's something so unwholesome about you turning up, eating pie in your car.
And then you ordered a pizza last week, didn't you?
That was last week. This isn't this week, is it?
Those calories do not count.
Well, it was last week. It's like you can't hold me in account.
So there's a fresh box of celebrations here next week.
Don't you put the idea in his
I
mind.
wouldn't touch him.
I'm having him destroyed.
You could have like a box of celebrations right in front of me with all the Maltesers, which I quite like.
I know you bloody well do.
And I wouldn't touch any of them.
Should we next week just
Get a
have...
fishing line.
I wouldn't touch them. I don't want them. I don't want that rubbish. I don't want that poison. After
Oh
midnight.
my god.
Honestly, I'm
Hypocrisy.
going to become a machine.
And that is what I love on your tweets. I'm thinking of food as fuel, dude.
Of what?
You always put this, I'm thinking of it as fuel now. I'm going to fuel the body, dude.
Well, yeah, it will become fuel. All the nice stuff, all the bad stuff that's nice for you. No, all the bad stuff that's bad for you but tastes nice. I'm getting out of my system.
I've got a notion as well that when you were tweeting about getting super fit, you were out pissing it up, weren't you? You were drinking at was it the Tap and Spile?
No, it was the West End Tap.
The West End, what's the West End Tap?
You love the West End Tap.
I was getting out of my system. It's a pub in town. It's a good pub.
No, we didn't get an invite.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're in town, you can come.
Well, we need to know that you're there. I don't even know. We haven't been to that, the West End Tap.
One of my investors owns it, so...
Ooh.
Anyway, so we've done conventions, we've done comics. I think that's the end of the episode then. So we'll catch you all next week.
Bye.
Oh, I won't be in this week, sorry.
What will you do next week?
Yeah.
Snowboarding next
You're
week.
snowboarding like a cool kid.
Yeah.
Oh, so we'll have to find someone else to sit in
Are
your
you
seat.
taking your own lady snowboarding with you?
No.
We
How
could
did
if
you
you want.
manage that?
Can we not pre-record
How
you
what?
saying you don't watch stuff?
How did you manage that?
Well, I booked a holiday, that's how I managed it.
Wow.
Snaky.
Wow. No.
Snaky
I know
cook.
when I booked it. Why? Would you not go on a holiday without Emma? I mean, without Consuela.
We're so bad at
I wouldn't dream of going on holiday without Consuela.
Is that because you know that you get in trouble for it?
She cut your balls off.
Yeah. That's it. Before we go, I just wanted to say you can find us on Twitter now. It's Empire Geek on Twitter, and you can also email us at empireofgeek@hotmail.com.
Any questions?
Any questions about snowboarding or just insults about Rob, and I will be happy to pass
Death
them on.
threats.
Any tips about how Rob to get fit? Do people think that these multiple breakfast?
I don't need tips. I'm training with the pros.
We will see. Anyway, on that note, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
It's alive! Let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown.